There are works of fiction that entertain. There are those that inform. Then there are sacred texts that are disguised as cartridges. Castlevania III, Dracula's Curse, is not a video game. It is a digital grimoire, a treatise on generational trauma, moral agency, and the complex semiotics of inherited violence etched not on parchment, but upon the shimmering silicon of 8-bit code. It is a catechism of consequence, delivered via pixelated agony. You, the player, assume the identity of Trevor C. Belmont, the inaugural protagonist of Righteous Hereditary Suffering, a man less defined by who he is, rather than by the ancestral narrative that congeals around him like a spectral fog. He does not walk forward, he ascends through the strata of corrupted earth, haunted ruins, and sentient architecture. Each screen a page in a chronicle of despair. Trevor is not on a mission. Trevor is on a pilgrimage. Each whip crack is not violence, it is atonement. The enemies you encounter, the malformed bats, the harlequin skeletons, the disembodied specters, are not monsters in the traditional ludonarrative sense. They are the iconographic manifestations of ancestral sin. They are your bloodline's unpaid debts, animated by inertia and resentment. To vanquish them is not to win, it is to negotiate with memory. It is to wade into the waters of the unconscious, naked save for a chain whip and a soul cracked upon like a reliquary. I first played Dracula's Curse when I was 8 years old. The plastic smelled like dust and cigarette smoke. Someone else's home. Someone else's pain. I didn't understand what the game was doing to me. I remember falling into the bottomless pit on the clock tower stage again and again and again. Each time, I cursed the game, cursed the controls, cursed the delay on Trevor's jump. But now I see. That pit was me. My inability to time the jump was not mechanical, it was existential. I wasn't failing the game. The game was revealing that I had not yet developed the inner balance required to cross the void between boyhood and ethical personhood. I would later go on to discover these same sort of feelings when experiencing FromSoft's hardcore RPG series, Dark Souls. I still remember sitting cross-legged walking through the undead parish, musing to myself the similarities between it and Castlevania III, Dracula's Curse. But then, choice. Agency enters the narrative like a priest into a war zone. You meet Grant, the agile thief whose very existence is an argument for rehabilitation over retribution. You encounter Sypha, a cloistered mystic whose hidden strength redefines the feminine divine. And then, Alucard. Alucard, the prodigal son of darkness, a creature born of infernal blood, yet moved by luminous intent. He is not a character, he is a paradox made flesh. The game's most potent theological question. Can good be born from evil? Choosing Alucard is not a tactical decision, it is an ethical thesis. It is forgiveness manifested as fangs turned away from the flesh. I played it again at 17. Older, weary. A little more like Alucard myself, half shadowed, half searching. I had just broken ties with a childhood friend who lied to me, betrayed my trust. I stood in front of the screen, cursor over Alucard's silhouette, and I chose him. Because Castlevania III had taught me something I didn't learn in any classroom, temple, or therapy session. That we are not defined by what we come from, but by what we walk away from. Dracula's Curse is not simply a video game. It is a moral crucible masquerading as an action platformer. Its platforms are ideologies. Its enemies, the sediment of history. Its whip, a symbol not of violence, but the fragile cord that binds justice to conviction. And its greatest message? That to fight evil is not simply to destroy it. It is to recognize that evil may reside in our legacy, in our choices, in ourselves. In the end, Trevor does not just defeat Dracula. He overcomes the gravity of expectation. He rewrites the fate carved into his blood. He chooses again and again not to become the monster. And so must we. Okay, now that we've established why exactly Castlevania III is such a masterwork of literacy and game design, we can get into the second part of this video. I have been receiving several suggestions that Castlevania III, Dracula's Curse, is quite like another game by the name of Adventures of Dino Ricky. So let me make this clear right off the bat, because apparently some of you need a damn refresher course in video game literacy. I can't believe I even have to say this, but Castlevania III Dracula's Curse is not, I repeat, nothing like Adventures Island's poor deranged cousin, Dino Ricky. Let me break this down before I lose my mind. Castlevania III is a gothic horror masterpiece. It's moody, it's dark, it's got Dracula, demons, castle, organ music, and a whole ensemble of tragic monster-slaying anti-heroes trying to stop an ancient evil from swallowing the world in darkness. Meanwhile, Dino Ricky? You're a half-naked, egg-throwing caveman dodging flying meat and oversized dragonflies while collecting sunflowers. The whole thing plays like a fever dream someone had after chugging radioactive Capri Sun and watching the Flintstones on acid. Themes? Castlevania III is about legacy, curse, destiny, and sacrifice. It's dripping in lore and atmosphere. You're fighting for humanity's future. Dino Ricky? You're fighting for what? For lunch? For vaguely defined heroism? There's literally a stage where you're just dodging boulders in a tropical hellscape for no damn reason. No context, no narrative, just endless prehistoric suffering. And let's talk tone, shall we? Castlevania III makes you feel like you're stepping into the final chapter of a doomed epic. Every level is like battling through 100 haunted paintings. Dino Ricky? That's like getting drop-kicked into a bag of gummy worms and forced to run around forever while screaming. Sort of like that blue hedgehog I hear so much about lately. So unless Dracula's Castle suddenly has a lava raft riding segment where Trevor Belmont throws boomerangs at cartoon pterodactyls while wearing a diaper, stop trying to put these two in the same conversation. One is a chilling, dark fantasy. The other is a glorified NES tech demo with caveman cosplay and no concept of pacing. Castlevania III is not Dino Ricky. Period. Get it right or go back to World 2 and stay there. Thanks for watching this video from the Guild of Retro Philosophers. We are a coalition of scholars, academics, and philosophers seeking to expand the medium of video games, one video essay at a time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving a tickle to those engagement buttons and checking out all of our socials. This has been 8-Bit Billy. Thanks, and have a wonderful day.